Today we're driving the 2024 Acura ZDX Type S, which means we can punch the brakes. It says it right there on the screen. We have big, massive, yellow Brembo calipers on like 15 some inch rotors.
They're huge brakes.
499 horsepower, 544 pound-feet of torque, and air suspension. A $75,000 starting price, which means depreciation on this is going to be insane someday. In like 2 years, it'll be like 27 grand.
Yeah.
This is based on the Ultium platform, so it's shared with the Prologue, with the Blazer, with the Lyric.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, our goal today, this is going to be a first impressions drive. We just hopped into this. Might do some more of these videos where we're just kind of giving our off-the-cuff first impressions on a car. Haven't spent time with it. However, we have spent a lot of time in the other variants on this Ultium platform. So we most recently just got out of the Prologue. I quite liked the Prologue. I thought it was very nice. It looked good. It got a lot of positive attention from onlookers and non-enthusiasts. And it was just nice to drive and live with. It has CarPlay and Android Auto, and this does as well. So like this and the Lyric and the Prologue all have CarPlay and Android Auto. The Blazer gets rid of that for some reason. Probably a bad idea. This infotainment looks a little bit different from what we had in the Prologue, though it's still kind of laggy, it seems like, on startup. Well, not too bad, maybe.
I was having to press really hard on things.
I had to do that with the Prologue.
Okay,
I had to basically just kind of punch the screen every time I wanted to select something, but this seems slightly more sensitive. Yeah, exactly. Let's see if we can turn off our music here so nothing happens. Let's walk you guys around this real quick. What's this painted in?
This is painted in scarlet red.
We did a studio walk around of one of these about a year ago, and now we're finally getting a chance to drive it. And I've got to say, aside from the top of the roof looking kind of like a hearse, it looks pretty good.
I never noticed that.
Yeah, once you see it, you can't unsee it.
It's this chrome.
It's that chrome trim piece. Yeah. Massive 22-inch wheels, 275/40 are 22-inch tires.
And this is a Continental Premium Contact summer tire on this today.
Okay. All right. Still the old Charge style there. Waiting for the Tesla Charger to get in there. Yeah, this should be a decent little tire. Gosh, those are enormous Brembo brakes.
They're like big bananas.
Yeah, they are big bananas. It is a big, wide thing. Weighs 5,900 pounds. Has a 102 kilowatt hour battery pack. It can fast charge at 190 kilowatts, which isn't great. That's like 20 to 80% in 40 minutes or so.
No, that's not super fast.
That's not super fast, no. This is a car that, if you want something quick, sporty, luxurious, and expensive for driving around locally, this is an option. You can go buy it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm not sure you'd really want to road trip this. It can tow 3,500 pounds, but it's an EV. Good luck with that. Yeah. How would you charge? I guess you just need to do short distances, like a boat or a jet ski or a Miata to a local track. That'd be fine. Decent amount of space in here. A little bit of underfloor storage. Those seats fold down.
I like the load surface level height.
It's good height.
Pretty easy to slide stuff in and out.
Yep. Good. Very good. I mean, this mostly feels like all the other vehicles that we've driven that share stuff with GM. Lots of GM interior bits, all the switchgear. However, they have done a pretty good job making the infotainment looking more like Acura.
They put the Acura kind of skin on the background.
Exactly.
Like
no, that's convincing.
Yeah.
It's funny because they're all the same but different.
Mm-hmm.
The dashboard design, some of the lines on the dashboard look nice. But ultimately, this is all GM stuff in here, and it feels like a GM vehicle.
Yeah. We've got rear climate control panel, 3 heated seat settings, which is nice. USB-C. A lot of room back here too, actually.
It is spacious.
Despite the hearse roofline thing going on.
No, I mean, it's kind of a visual trick. It actually has more headroom than you would expect.
Yeah, it does.
Because it kind of looks like a wagon-like SUV. Yeah, I mean, this is great.
Yeah.
One thing I will say about this platform, it does have tons of interior space. They probably could have squeezed a third row in here, but I'm glad they didn't. Just doesn't have the roof height.
Would have been silly.
Yeah. Interior looks good. Materials, I mean, the seats, those look very Acura.
They're the Acura color, at least.
They are,
the white. Acura loves their white seats.
I think the question today, Chris, is going to be, Is this nicer than a Lyric for 15 grand more or 10 or 15 grand more?
Yeah.
It's got more power. They're coming out with a Lyric V with almost 600 horsepower here soon. That should be exciting. But until then, this is kind of the most powerful version of this trio that you can purchase.
I'm gonna pop the bonnet.
We could. There's no front trunk, but we could try. We could see. It's funny because it's like they were going to design a front trunk because you just lift it. It's a double pull, but there's nothing here. Just a dead spider. May he rest.
A lot of like booger welds.
Ugh. Yeah. Well, let's go drive it.
Okay.
Booger welds. Let me make sure this closed properly. Yep. Okay.
Did it close?
We're good. Yep.
Okay, cool.
Bang & Olufsen sound system.
It's decent.
It's decent. Hey Siri, turn on Do Not Disturb.
Okay, Do Not Disturb is now on.
Yours is on. Let me turn mine on too. There we go. Mine's now also on.
Okay, good. I wouldn't want this video to be part of your 488 unread
it comes
text
up every
messages.
time. We went through a phase of not replying to people, but back to normal again.
Heated and ventilated seats. Super Cruise, right?
Yes,
But
it does.
Acura calls it something different. It's like Acura
Probably.
Watch 360 or something. Digital rear view mirror, which is dirty right now.
Yeah, visibility is. It's okay.
Yeah.
Kind of that D-pillar design. You lose a little bit of visibility,
Oh
but
my gosh. Holy warning sign, Batman.
I've got some over here too.
What do we have here with this center display? We can choose a map, Google-based infotainment system, Google Maps, and there's Apple Maps, and then there's that view, and then there's that view. Okay, cool. How do we change our drive modes?
Button to your left by your left knee.
Right here, okay. Drive mode, normal, snow, sport, individual, normal, snow, sport.
So I've got my individual mode set up to sport, throttle response, and everything. Everything else I think I have in normal.
Okay, cool. Nice.
And motor, sound, and sport, which obviously you could get rid of that too. But
Yeah, right?
for the sake
Play
of the
around
winding
with that a
road
little
video.
bit. Yeah, why not?
See, you gotta.
You gotta press it with authority, Christopher. All right. Yeah, I mean, this is all just very GM.
Nice HD cameras though. I'll
Yeah,
give
the
them that.
cameras look good. GM used to have the worst cameras. They've gotten so much better.
Yep.
This weird open space right here is just kind of throwing me for a
Yes,
loop.
but-
I wish they would have done something with it like they did
Maybe.
with like the Civic or something.
Oh.
Or
Yeah.
the Pilot, or just made a hole where you could put stuff down
Yeah.
here.
Well, there's more room under here, so. I mean,
Yeah, but you would
there's
never
no
use
lack.
that.
Yeah.
I don't know
We
if-
used it for our Christmas cards this week
Oh,
on the way to the post office.
I stand corrected. Merry Christmas, everyone. Yeah, you're right. This is very grippy and nothing would slide around on
Yeah,
it.
it's a
But
really nice
it also
surface.
just collects dust and
Well, yeah, but it
looks
comes
kind of
out.
cheap in a
It comes out, you can
$75,000
clean it.
thing.
Oh, if you can pick it out of there, you can clean it.
Gonna have nails.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there it is. Okay, you're right. I guess you could put it in the dishwasher.
Yep.
Any car part that you can put in the dishwasher is a good
win,
car part.
yeah. I am not a huge fan of this trim.
I know, it's
think it
just kind of
looks cheap.
painted and cheap and plastic.
Yeah.
This looks nice though here.
Yeah, the door
And
panels look
the
nice.
leather all looks very Acura. The steering wheel is very GM, but that's okay. You get your little Max, regen button right there on the back.
It just feels a little confused in here. Like it doesn't know if it wants to be full Acura or full GM.
I mean, that's okay. That is what it is. It's the way it
I
is in
know.
the Prologue. It's the way it is. I like that it has a column shifter. I think that's very
Yeah,
nice.
I love the shifter.
Let's go drive it and see how it performs. Kind of hums away at you.
You can hear our
Ooh,
summer tires.
aggressive off-throttle regen.
Very. I think you're in sport. That
All
makes
right,
it a
let's
bit more
let's
aggressive.
put this in normal. Oh, and we have air suspension, so we can control our ride height over here to the left. Oh yeah. And then you can turn on and off one pedal driving right there at
Yes,
a moment's whim.
Quick access to that.
moment's
which is
notice.
nice.
Yeah.
I want to say one thing. Something is rolling around in this console.
Something's trapped, yeah.
Something's trapped somewhere, like a screw fell out or something. So whenever we go around a hard corner, you're going to hear what sounds like an M&M rolling around in the console, just so you're aware.
It's okay. It'll be our G meter.
Do you hear it?
Yeah, I hear it. How do
right here.
How do we adjust our HUD brightness? Is that a...
It's probably in the infotainment, if I had to guess.
Those are headlights.
That's your headlights, yeah.
Those are also our headlights. HUD. Oh, it's so bright. Okay, there we go. We'll turn that down a little bit. It's probably flickering a bunch with the camera that we're using, but that's okay.
Oh, yeah.
All right. We're not going that way. Sorry.
It's okay.
Brake pedal feels very nice. I wanted to feel out these Brembos. No complaints there. What about the other pedal? All right, that's normal mode. I was expecting more power.
You know what's funny about this is normal mode genuinely feels like it has 200 less horsepower.
Yeah, that's not that good.
It's just
not that impressive.
It's not impressive.
All right, well let's go into sport. Let's go into sport. That's more like it.
Yep. But even with that, it's not. It doesn't blow your face off.
I mean, it's moving 6,000 pounds.
Yeah.
I just posted my M5 video.
Oh yeah.
And you know, if you don't option that with any options, it's only $22 a pound, which is less than King Salmon.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
I mean, this is even better per pound value because it weighs so much.
The wheel fell off of that.
Yeah, that happens.
Okay.
I mean, it's quick.
Yeah.
But the problem is, I think, do you need your EV to be that quick when you can just go out and get a $50,000 Prologue that's also quick and does all the things that this does? Maybe without the luxury and the badge and the panache, but avoid catastrophic depreciation in the process. Or go out and get a Lyric that's a few years old for $35,000.
Yeah. No, I agree with you there. I don't think this is quick enough to argue purchasing it over the other variants.
It does have the running gear. It does have the feature content, I think, to justify that price tag in, you know, making sense of it all. It's got the air suspension. It's got these huge Brembo brakes. But do you need those Brembo brakes for street use? Are you going to take your ZDX Type S to the racetrack?
Probably.
I mean, I would.
You would.
But I'm like the 0.01% who would. And that's just because I like to put cars in situations. All right, let's put this in a situation right now. Hard on the brakes. Test out these summer performance tires. I mean, it actually handles pretty well.
It does. The steering sharpens up a lot in sport.
It just never quite comes on power like I want it to.
Yeah. Man, for stopping a 6,000 pound vehicle, though, those Brembos do the trick.
That's really good. Let's do one more. Brace yourself, Chris.
I am.
Oh my gosh.
Has 6,000 pounds ever come to a halt?
Those are worth at least $5,000.
Yeah.
That's impressive. All right, five grand for brakes. You get a pass. Acura. Well done. Holy moly. Yeah, those kind of just hurt your brain.
Yeah, they do.
One of the few EVs that has more braking force than acceleration force.
Definitely.
Okay, so maybe this needs another 100 horsepower. In this space, for this money, there are way quicker options.
Yeah.
All right, well, performance driving out of the way. I think you guys get the idea.
I get the idea.
You get the idea. Your stomach gets the idea. You have a pretty strong passenger stomach,
I
though.
do, yeah.
I can't hang as a passenger, but you can.
Yes.
Yeah, which is why we never do videos with me in the passenger seat. It's not just me being selfish. Let's go back into... Oops, I just changed the ride height instead of the drive mode. Let's go back into normal mode. And let's turn... I've been using the brake pedal because it actually has pretty good feel, but let's turn one pedal driving on and see how it comes to a stop here. It's strong level of regen, really, but you can set that. It's because it's on high. Normal is probably a better setting to use, if I'm being honest.
I like the throttle calibration though on this. It feels pretty natural.
It's really good. On and off throttle, regen calibration feels fantastic. No complaints there. 278 miles of electric driving range. I mean,
just under the 300
yeah,
threshold.
that's fine for around town. You can get over 300 with a rear-wheel drive ZDX, A-spec.
It was showing this morning when I pulled it off the charger like 281 miles on a full charge.
Okay.
So,
all right.
Pretty accurate to the 278.
Yeah, I mean, with the charge rate, 190 kilowatts, and the weight of this thing, it's not going to be a very efficient EV. I mean, it's fine for around town. You better have a home charging solution. Not sure it's a viable, like, long distance hauler. It's just not efficient enough.
It does kind of feel 6,000 pounds. Like, it feels heavy.
It doesn't hide its weight.
No.
Yeah.
Not at all.
There's a little bit of body roll, a little bit of dive and squat.
The steering's got a good amount of weight to it as well.
It does.
Even in normal.
Yep. I mean, they've definitely tried here to spruce up this interior.
Yeah.
I don't know if it feels more special than the Lyriq does. It maybe feels kind of on par, but you can get a Lyriq for less money. It's so hard to beat that value.
Yeah. I don't know that any of these vehicles feel necessarily special.
They don't. No, none of them. None of them are amazing.
do.
Like, none of them are class leading in terms of interior quality, fit, finish. They're all just a little bit appliance-like in their nature. Oh, we're not even in sport mode. I'm not sure we can change into sport mode
Yes, we
mid-corner.
can. Good job.
Yes, we can. All right. Shall we attempt to use Super Cruise?
Yeah, you can't be in the exit lane though,
No.
unfortunately.
We're getting over though, because this truck is getting over for us. Thank you, sir. Press the button. We
It
gotta.
has to wait. It has to
we have to
calibrate for a second.
That's right.
Go.
All right. We're in action. Green light. We love a green light. This is an awesome feature. This makes this feel like a car from 2025,
Yeah.
even though it's from 2024.
And it's executing its own lane change.
Yeah, it just vibrated my left ass cheek, telling me that it's gonna get over.
It loves vibrating your butt. Like when you're parking, it vibrates nonstop.
Yeah.
There's a joke in there, but I'm not going to say it.
Oop, I just got another vibration. This is a setting you can turn on and off, the auto lane change. But honestly, if you're just cruising and you don't need to exit anytime soon, it's a fantastic feature to just leave on and let the car do its thing. It has lane etiquette. It has better lane etiquette than most drivers on the road. It'll get over from the left lane. It'll pass slower vehicles. I mean, you just kind of sit back and be impressed, basically. Yeah. Personally, I usually opt to leave the auto lane change off and just do manual lane changes with my turn signals, and then it'll change lanes on its own. But, I mean, I haven't driven anything better than this. I haven't driven Tesla's autopilot, but this is, for highway driving, it's almost flawless. I did a trip from Ann Arbor to Lansing one day. The car pretty much did the whole trip on its own.
Was that in a Silverado?
Yeah.
High country?
Yeah. Suspension rides a little bit on the stiffer side, but you kind of expect that with this car's sporting intentions.
I think we are in sport mode.
Oh yeah, we're in sport mode.
So,
never mind.
there you go.
It's because we're in sport mode. It is nice that you get an individual mode and you can kind of tailor that to your preferences. I mean, look at this. Approaching a slower vehicle, negotiating a lane change. It slowed down ahead of time. It knew what's going on.
That's smart.
That's great. So nice that Acura integrated this Super Cruise system into the car. Because you can't get it in the Prologue.
No.
This alone is worth getting this or the Lyriq.
Yeah. Can you get it in the Blazer?
I doubt it. I don't know. I didn't love the Blazer.
The Blazer was...
The Blazer for me, if you don't want Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, get the Blazer.
Yeah.
You know?
Or if you like your hamburgers plain.
That's right. Just bun.
Just bun and meat with no seasoning.
Yep. I will say, as an EV with sporting intentions, this is becoming a competitive space now. This isn't just a few EVs that are out that are sporty to drive. There's a lot. And there's some innovations going on in the space, like what Hyundai's doing with engine sound and fake shifts. This is just a little bit soulless and bland.
Yeah.
It doesn't excite me other than the fact that, it's got numbers on a spec sheet. It's got 500 horsepower.
Yeah. It stops really fast.
It stops really fast. The brakes are absolutely insane.
Yeah.
Not a bad thing. But I'm left a little bit numb with this driving experience. Apparently the Prologue's selling really well.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's not surprising.
I think Acura's definitely done what they've needed to do here to justify the $75,000 price tag. It's just that, I don't know, the buyers who can afford this aren't going to qualify for the tax credit. And the buyers who can't really afford it aren't going to be able to afford the depreciation. It's a tricky situation.
Yeah, it's in an awkward spot.
Yeah.
Ooh, my passenger seat has lumbar.
It does handle really well, though. I mean, all things considered, this feels like a sportier driving experience. Much sportier than the Blazer, much sportier than the Prologue.
Oh, definitely.
Probably handles a little better than the Lyric. They've done a good job with the tuning and calibration here. I'm curious to see what the Lyric V will cost, because that'll probably be, in terms of the performance model, that'll probably be the king.
I think they're gonna add like the fake V8 noise to that.
I don't know. I'm kind of torn on those noises. Do you add a noise that sounds like an internal combustion engine, or do you add something futuristic that sounds cool, like what the Audi does with the e-tron?
Yeah.
I think Audi has the best electric driving noises, aside from just like the raw motor noise.
Porsche has good ones too.
Porsche's good too. I mean, those are basically the same
It's
vehicles.
The same, yeah, right.
The Tesla Cybertruck had a cool raw motor noise on its own, and the Hyundai Ioniq N, I guess, sounded cool. I don't know.
It sounded like BeamNG drive.
Yeah, it really did. Yeah. It's quiet at speed.
Super quiet. These tires are really quiet.
Yeah, they probably have some type of noise cancellation technology in them or
It's
something.
one of the quietest summer tires I've ever.
For a 22-inch wheel, the ride here is good. In normal mode, the ride is better.
Yeah.
I retract my previous statement about it being stiff because I was in sport mode.
Well, that's the thing, is there's nothing really to let you know what mode you're in. There's no like audible really feedback.
Acura's thing is their drive mode selector.
I know.
It's like front and center.
There's a spot for it.
There's a spot for it, but it's just this little tiny afterthought, like tacked on button over here because the GM interior didn't really quite account for it.
That's what gets me, and I know, like you said earlier, they're all kind of like this. That's the way this platform is. But I wish there were just a couple more little Acura things.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, they could have just put like a tablet, like a whole Tombstone style tablet that was theirs, and integrated it with everything else. You could use GM software, but maybe use an Acura drive mode selector or something. How hard can that be? You know. I just got the I'm gonna crash into this Maverick notification.
Oh, it does that all the time.
Yeah.
On the head-up display, it just flashes red.
I was going 4 miles an hour.
Yeah. It did that to me like 10 times this week.
Yeah.
It always thinks you're gonna crash.
I'm looking forward to that in my Camaro. That going off every 10 minutes. Have you listened to the sound system?
I have. It's okay. It's definitely not the best Bang & Olufsen I've heard. It's very bass heavy.
All right.
But this has like the Biosonic adjustment where you, instead of doing like your bass, treble, and mid, you kind of move your like circle around the bigger circle. You know what I'm talking about?
No, I have no idea.
Okay, I'll show you. So I tend to have mine a little bit more towards the energetic side, and I mean And it's like it's fun. It's a fun way to adjust your levels, and then you can adjust your level of surround also.
Okay. Cool.
I would say it's a good sound system, but I wouldn't say it's great. Like it has.
It's not like an ELS used to be.
No,
All right.
definitely not.
Well. It's comfortable. It's fast. It's heavy. It's 75 grand. I think overall it'd probably be a pretty nice EV to live with if you didn't have to charge it on the go or road trip at long distances.
Yeah.
So, you know, if you're that premium customer who demands a bit more performance and insane levels of braking out of their grocery getter, their vehicle they used to drop off the kids at school. Like right now, I'm taking my son like a 1.5 miles to school. I drive him every day. In the Raptor, it's kind of painful just because like that engine never gets to warm
Cold
up.
starts.
Yeah, cold starts. A plug-in hybrid and EV would be perfect for that.
And you could wake them up with the brakes in the morning.
I could. I think it looks good.
It does. It's an attractive. Out of all of the Ultium cars, I think this is the most handsome.
Yeah.
For sure.
The Lyric looks like a pinstripe suit. It's a little bit like Detroit Gangster, which is cool.
Which is great for Cadillac. It should be.
Yep. And this just kind of looks like a racing hearse. I mean, you got to appreciate 22-inch wheels with sidewall.
Yeah. Oh.
Little air suspension fart there.
Can we see how low it gets in sport mode?
Yeah, we should. I can actually control the ride height. All right, this is entry exit mode. Yeah. Low wagon vibes.
Oh yeah, that looks sweet.
It does look good. And then off-road mode. I mean, all right, air suspension. What's air suspension worth to you? Like $3 grand, $5 grand?
The brakes are a couple grand.
All right, well,
It's all
okay, it's adding up. It's nice to have.
Yeah.
Increased. It's not off-road, it's increased.
Yeah. Curbs.
All right, up we go. All four wheels at the same time. Not front, back, front, back, front, back.
Ooh.
Increased.
That's pretty decent.
That's not bad. Yeah. All right, well, there's some more versatility. I mean, Acura also charges 75 grand for the MDX Type S.
Yes, they do.
Which I don't know if it offers that much more over the regular MDX
this is more
than
comfortable
this
than the MDX,
does.
for
It
sure.
might be, it's faster.
And it's faster.
Yeah, the MDX really could use another 200 horsepower.
Yeah.
This is probably fast enough.
Yeah.
It's just, it's not blisteringly fast like some EVs that we've driven.
That's the thing is
in
we're
this
so
category.
numb to fast
Yeah.
EVs that we get into something like this that has 500 horsepower and we're like, okay, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Because EVs just so naturally like have 800 horsepower and are so fast
Yeah,
that we're so like spoiled with them that this is actually a very appropriate amount of power, I would say.
it is.
So
Yeah. Okay, well, those are some first impressions that I don't know if those will change very much over the course of a week. I'm sure it'll be great to live with. We'll keep charging it in our garages and drive it around. But for now, those are some first thoughts on the ZDX Type S. 2 motors, one in the front, one in the rear, all-wheel drive. Is there a launch control or anything? Probably
not that I
not.
noticed.
No.
I doubt it.
Oh, while I'm here, I'm going to clean off my camera
Oh, good idea.
rear view mirror. There is a little like,
Oh, it's a washer. You know
Little
what?
washer
it probably
nozzle.
washes when you wash the back window.
yeah,
It probably blasts out.
that's
of
good. I like that. Well, thanks to Substitute Topher for joining us today.
It's always a pleasure.
Appreciate your presence.
Yes.
And thank you to Acura for loaning us the ZDX Type S. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Go check out Chris's channel at Topher Drives. We're not the same person, obviously, because we're here at the same time. I really like the way this looks in lowered mode.
Looks sweet. It's kind of like Crown Signia dimensions.
A little bit, yeah.
Like the lifted wagon vibe.
It's like the smoothest blend to a stop ever.
It's great.
Yeah. I mean, there are a lot of things that they get right here. Even just the steering wheel heat. So nice.
Yep. And the fact that the steering wheel heat button is on the steering wheel.
Absolutely. Not hidden in here or down here. No, that is good. Yeah, we also have this Infiniti QX80 this week, and it's great, but there's like parts of the steering wheel right here that are metal, and it's gotta be like as cold as my Type R shifter. And so like you get a nice warm steering wheel, and then the inside of your palms are just ice.
Yeah.
And I imagine it also gets really hot as well. Like
probably.
The QX80 is a huge seller in Dubai and the UAE and the Middle East. Like every household has one, or a Land Cruiser.
You're right.
And like they've got to be burning their hands off in that thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So some of these little things that companies get right really do add up. This isn't a review of the QX80. I thought I'd mention it though because it's just sitting there in the parking lot, which I need to drive you back to. All right, well, stay tuned.
It's a wrap
for that QX80 video as well. You're taking that home, aren't you?
Yes.
Okay. Cool. Well, we'll end the video right there.
Okay.